Hi students, in the previous video I had explained you the program how to check the input number is prime or not by returning true or false. In this lecture I am going to explain you how to calculate the SCF of two numbers, SCF highest common factor or GCD greatest common divisor of two numbers. How can we calculate program to find the SCF or GCD of two numbers? So I am going to use GCD method and non-recursive program already I had given you in the previous videos. So again I am going to just repeat the same method. If we have two numbers, A is 42, B is 24. When you calculate the SCF, SCF will be 6. Mathematically you can calculate. But one method is there, 42 divided by 24, 24 1 ja 24, remainder is 18. And now divide 24 by 18, put 24 here, 18 1 ja 18, remainder is 6. Now divide 18 by 6, 6 3 ja 18, remainder is 0. No, and finally remainder is 0. So last divisor is the SCF. So here 6 is the SCF or GCD. This is the non-recursive function. Without recursion, try to understand. If the number is 42, this is 24. Start the loop. A modulus B. I am writing here 42 modulus 24, remainder will be 18. B will be transferred in a, see, suppose A and B, and when we divide we will get remainder. What we have to do? We have to bring the B here inside and have to take the remainder here in place of B. Same thing I am going to do, transferring the value of B into A. So A will become 24 and remainder 18, B will become R. Remainder is not 0. Second time A modulus B, this time A modulus B will be 24 modulus 18. So 24 mod 18 is 6. A equal to B, so B will be transferred into A will become 18. R A will be transferred to B will become 6. Still remainder is not 0. Second time A modulus B means 18 modulus 6. This time 18 modulus 6 will be 0. But these two statements will still execute. So A will become B, so A will become 6 and B will become 0. So here now R and B both are 0 and loop will be terminated when R will become 0. So finally we have to return the value of A, that is 6. This is non-recursive method. Now same program we have to do with the help of recursion. Now in recursion what we have to do? First of all we have to think what is the base case. Base case means where recursion terminates. So when you see in this case, when remainder is 0, the loop will be terminated. Same way we have to make the recursive function when it will terminate. First of all we have to think about this. So when remainder will be 0. Now try to understand the recursive function. This is the only recursive function here. When we call from the main function, method name is GCD and passing same number 42 and 24. 42 and 24. So first of all check whether 42 is divided by B. No. Else, so return GCD B comma A modulus B. So what is the value B? B is now 24 and A modulus B means 42 modulus 24 will be 18. So in second function call of the GCD function, A will be 24 and B will be 18. It means value B will be transferred to A and their remainder will be transferred to B, like here. Value B is transferred to A, remainder into B. Same way. Now when A and B will be 24 and 18, again 24 is not divided by 18. So again call the function by passing 18 and 24 modulus 18, 6. So next function call A and B will be 18 and 6. This time 18 these will be divided by 6, remainder will be 0 and you will return 6. 6 to this function, then this function, and so finally to the main function. Once more, I am going to try in different way. Actually, this function is completed. I hope it is clear to you, but I am going to explain the same thing by making the same function 3 times here to make you understand only. Just again, I am making the same function, static int gcd int a int b. If a modulus b equal to 0, return b, else return the function call b a modulus b. Static int gcd int a b. If a modulus b equal to 0, return b, else return gcd b comma a modulus b. So when we pass 42, 24 here, it will pass 18, 24 and 18 here, and finally it will pass 18 comma 6 here. Now try to understand. This is the first, second and third function. I am calling it from the main by passing 24 and 42 and 24 to this function. So from the very beginning, again from the main, 42 and 24. 42 is not divided by 24, function will be called, b will become, b is already 24, b is 24, but a modulus b will become 18. So 24 and 18 will be passed to the second function call, and suppose this is the second memory block of the same function. But here now value of a will be 24 and b will be 18. So again 24 modulus 18 is not 0. So this function will be called by passing 18 and a modulus b, 24 modulus 18 is 6. So this is the next third function call. So 18, 6, a and b. This time 18 will be divided by 6. So remainder is 0, it will return b, that is 6. So b will be returned, 6 will be returned to this function call, and same 6 will be returned to this function call, and finally this will return to the main function call and will be stored in H. Here you can print the SCF. How to find the sum of the digits of an input number? Input number can be of any number of digits, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, any number of digits, but we have to separate the digits and add them. First of all, I am going to explain you non-recursive again. So come here, program to find the sum of the digits of an input number. Here example, if n is 475, so 4, 7 plus 5 equal to 16, sum of the digits. Here I have made non-recursive function, which is already I had explained in the previous videos, but again I am going to explain you the same thing. See, the number is suppose 475. I have taken two variables, r for remainders, 0 is stored in the variable s for sum. Start the loop, get the remainder, dividing by 10, you will get first remainder 5. 5 will be added in as, divide the number by 10, 475 divided by 10, you will get 47. So here n will become 47, which is not 0, loop will be continue. So now this time 47 modulus 10, next time you will get 7, 7 will be the remainder, 7 will be added in the previous value of s, and now 47 divided by 10, you will get 4. 4 is not 0, next time 4 modulus 10, 4, so 4 will be added in previous value of s, 4 upon 10, 0. So finally n is now 0, it will return the final value of s, which was the sum of 5 plus 7 plus 4. So in such a way you can get sum of the digit in non-recursive way, but now using recursive technique. So come this side, this is the only function, this is the function from here to here. Which will calculate the sum of the digits. This is the main function, public static void main, in which we can call the SOD function. I have kept the name SOD, sum of the digits, by passing any number of digits. Here it will finally, after calculating sum of the digit, it will return to the variable k that will be printed here. This is the main function. So here is the explanation of this. First of all, I am going to explain you only this function by passing 475. If I pass 475, which is not less than 9, return remainder plus this, the whole statement. See, try to understand this statement. Remainder will be 475 modulus 10, 5, plus call the SOD function. 475 divided by 10, 47 the integer part. In second call, it will be 47. Okay. Now suppose this is the second call where n is 47. This is the next memory block. Still it is not less than equal to 9. Again get the remainder, 47 modulus 10, 7, plus call the function 47 divided by 10, 4 the integer part, 47 divided by 10, 4 will be the integer part. So SOD function will be called again by passing 4. Suppose this is the next memory block where value of n is 4, which we have passed from here. So now 4 is less than equal to 9, condition is true. So it will return 4, the single digit it is. So 4 will be returned to this function because this is called. It is called from here. So 4 plus 7, 11. Finally together sum will be 11. 11 will be returned to this function call because this function was previously called here. So 7 plus, this is 4 plus 7, 11 is the final sum of this. The returned value 11 plus 5, now 16, total value will be 16. 16 will be returned to the main function and k will be printed here, the sum of the digits. Now related program to reverse an input number. How to reverse the input number? Example, if number is 475, the reversed will be 574. Reverse. This is the loop. In the last video, I told you how to get the sum of the digit. This is non-recursive method, non-recursive without recursion first of all. R for remainder, S for the to store the reverse number, get the remainder. Remainder will be, if number is 475, suppose the number is 475, the remainder will be 5. S will be, in place of S equal to S plus R, here we are calculating the sum of the digit. Instead of S equal to S plus R, you have to write S equal to S multiply 10 plus R. Now, S is 0 into 10, 0 plus the remainder 5. So, S will become 5. N equal to N divided by 10, 475 divided by 10, it will be 47. Next time, next remainder will be 7. So, S was 5, 5 into 10, 50 plus 7, 57. Now, it was 47, 47 divided by 10, 4. 4 modulus 10, 4. S was 57, 57 into 10, 570 plus 4, 574. Now 4 upon 10, 0 come out of the loop, it will return the value of S, that is 574. So finally some of the reverse of the number will be returned. This is non-recursive technique. Now using recursion, there are two methods to make it with the help of recursion. This time I am going to explain you by taking one external or global variable in the body of the class int S equal to 0, which is a static. This variable can be used in any function. The reverse function, static void. This time I have taken void. I am not returning. We can also return, but this time without returning we are going to make, because we have taken already one extra variable outside the function. So static void reverse is the name of the function, n is the number. Condition is if n is 0, return. Here you can use return statement without value in the void function. From here it will start returning, backtracking. So, but you can't return a value if it is return type is void, but you can use return statement. Okay. Now try to understand the working of this function. From the public static void main function, we are calling the reverse function by passing 475. It is 475. So here suppose n is 475. is not 0, come to the else. Remainder int r equal to remainder of 475 is 5. S is 0, 0 into 10, 0, because S is 0, 0 into 10, 0 plus 5. So S will become 5. Call the function reverse again. 475 divided by 10, 47. Second call will be with 47. Get the remainder. 47 modulus 10, 7. Next remainder. S was 5, 5 into 10, 50 plus 7, 57. And it was 47, n was 47, 47 divided by 10, 4. Next function call will be with 4. And it's not 0. So remainder 4 modulus 10, 4. S was 57, 57 into 10, 570 plus 4, 574. Now recall the reverse function again. N was 4, 4 divided by 10, 0. So final call will be with the 0. So when it will become 0, it will start returning backtracking. So finally we come to the calling function from where we have called the function reverse. So S is already calculated, so here we can print the value of S. That will be the reverse 574. This is the complete program. But one thing again you remember, S is a static variable. If you call this function again, if you have to calculate the value of different, if you want to reverse the different number, then you will not get 678, because it will not start from 0, because S is now 574. So you have to make S equal to 0 again, then only you call the function with different values. Now you will get the reverse again. That's all.